Global Manpower Company was a fraudulent scheme that promised high returns on investment to its clients. It operated like a classic Ponzi scheme, using the money of new investors to pay earlier investors, while the founders siphoned off a significant portion of the funds for their own benefit. Many individuals invested large sums of money in the company, believing that it would provide them with a lucrative and sustainable source of income. However, the reality was far from what they had hoped for. When the scheme finally collapsed, many people were left devastated, having lost their life savings. While some individuals were able to recover their investments, those who joined the scheme later were left angry and disappointed. They had been lured into the company by the promise of high returns and the assurance that their investments were safe. The founders of the company had gone to great lengths to create the illusion of legitimacy, using fake testimonials, fake documents, and many more. All of the managers of the company have now gone missing, leaving behind a trail of devastation and ruined lives. Many people who invested in the scheme are calling for justice, demanding that the creators of Global Manpower Company be held accountable for their actions. They believe that the founders of the company knew exactly what they were doing and deliberately set out to scam innocent people. One individual who invested $1,000 the day before the scheme crashed nearly suffered a mental breakdown when they realized that their money was gone. This person is just one of many victims of the Global Manpower Company scheme, which has left a deep scar on the lives of those who fell for it. Despite the overwhelming evidence of fraud, a certain bishop who convinced hundreds of people to sign up for the scheme still believes that it is not a scam. This highlights the power of persuasion and the ability of people to be taken in by false promises and clever marketing tactics. Here is what this certain bishop has to say.
All right, guys, good day. I do trust that despite the reality that we are faced with, our hearts are still in tune and we are still positive and optimistic about the future. Let me just say, in this group, which contains a number of persons, all of us victims to the reality that is happening, that none of us foresee what is taking place here today. As a matter of fact, I believe most, if not all of us, came into Global Manpower with the same mindset that we are going to make the best of what is at our disposal. We saw an opportunity and we jumped on with the view that it would change our lives, and it had started to do that for certain, for most of us, especially those who have been on for over a month or so. We would have seen where the changes would have started, and we had hopes that we would have, make a better life. Some of us would have been in the struggle for a long time, were hardly able to buy food, to pay our bills and all of that. But when Global Manpower came on stream, we saw the light and it started changing all of that, and we were confident of all of this. The same applies to me. I saw an opportunity, I get on board, I work the process because that's what I do. Just like anybody else, I invited others to join and develop, grow with the company. Yes, was expecting the best from the company. Only unfortunate that that did not go too far. 3 months later, we are in a limbo here at this point. But I want us to be mindful of the fact that it is not all over. We are not sure as to what really happened. And as I said to persons, that I do not want to believe that this was a scamming activity. I don't want to believe that. And I do not have any evidence to prove that that is the case. In situations like these, we have to be open to more than one reality. I believe that most of us engage the process with the thought that this could be a scam. And so whatever happens, we view it from that perspective because we saw it as that. Yes. But from my perspective and from where I sit, and from where I view things, I recognize that this company operated very efficiently, very professionally. Things were done in accordance with the contract, and they did what they said they would. When you make your withdrawals, you get your money. When you do this, that happened. Everything was flowing accordingly. Now, what happened, I don't know. System went down. It could be a number of things. But I want to believe that scamming would be the last on the list. I would prefer to believe that maybe some place, some government, some entity, whatever happens, something happened that we are maybe not familiar with or heard of, because that has not been communicated to us. So we are still speculating. But I don't want to believe that it was intended to scam us, because had it been intended to scam us, then I think they would have at least give us a longer period for us to withdraw our money. Yes, but the fact is that the system was flowing accordingly. Things were working for most, if not all of us. Yes, and so whatever is happening now is just that we have to just prepare our hearts and our minds to deal with it. We want to move forward by faith. We want to continue to pray and trust that global manpower will revive. We want to believe that things will get back on track. We want to believe that. We have to be optimistic. We have to keep hope alive. We have to pray. Nothing beats prayer. And in Jamaica, even if you are not a Christian saved and go to church, most, if not all of us, believe in the God of heaven. Let us continue to believe. Let us continue to pray. The whole idea was for all of us to be benefiting from this. So when you tell your friends and your friend tell their friend, the idea was that all of us would get something out of it. Yes. So let us not point fingers. Let us not blame ourselves. Let us not do anything. Let us just understand that if it had worked how we would have desired, all of us would have been rejoicing. As a matter of fact, last week we were rejoicing. Everybody was enjoying making their daily task and enjoying seeing the money in their account, and some were withdrawing, some were purchasing this and purchasing that, uploading videos, and all of that was happening, and it was reality. Now this is another reality. Let us just face it with the same kind of attitude and understand that whatever has happened to all of us, every last one of us. And we just have to shake ourselves together and trust God and go forward. All right. There is no new information that we have received, no communication with Jolie or anybody else. As a matter of fact, I believe that Jolie too is a victim of all of that which is happening. We just have to understand that it is a system, a global system, and whatever happened, it happened, and there's not much that we can do at this point, but just pray and trust that things will change for the better. All right, so please keep hope alive, continue to trust in God. Don't allow anything to get the better of us. We are one people. As a matter of fact, we are all family here. Yes, our intentions were pure. We had all hopes that it would have made all of us lives better. That was what Global Manpower was designed for. And we tell our friends, we tell our families, we get everybody involved because we wanted to see other people's lives better. What is happening now is another reality. Let us deal with it as professional as possible. All right, bless you guys. Have a great day.
I express my regrets for the loss of your funds. I understand that it can be a challenging and distressing experience. However, I encourage you to keep pushing forward and perceive this setback as a chance to learn and grow from the experience. Thank you for watching.